Hi, hello, good morning, everybody. I can only apologise that I have not finished doing some of my live videos or some of my pre-recorded videos. And I am always yawning every time I do them. I don't seem to have a data connection cable for my phone. It didn't come with one. But I've managed to finally find out how to Bluetooth my information to my laptop. So I have been painstakingly trying to transfer everything from my phone to my laptop. All right. So a quick video today. I have found this box in my room. Everybody who knows me knows that one of my mental health problems is that I am a hoarder. I mean, it's one of those things. People don't class hoarding as a mental health problem, but it is. And I'm trying to work through this with my therapist. Yes, I will openly admit I have counselling once a week, although the counselling I have is supposed to be a specialised counselling for something that I'm having to deal with in my life. What has actually happened whilst having this counselling, which I've probably had now for a good almost 6 months again. It's a work in progress. Is that one of the things that we've kind of discovered is that my hoarding is actually linked to what the counselling is about. So I'm not trying to make excuses. I mean, it's my life, it's my choice, etc. But we had a really, really great therapy session yesterday. And last night was probably one of the first times I actually was able to sleep without being medicated. It doesn't mean that I don't need medication to sleep. It just means that because I was able to talk about something that was so traumatic in my life that I wasn't having nightmares and flashbacks like I usually do every day. So sometimes counselling works, sometimes it doesn't. So anyway, this box. What's in this box, people? Right, so in this box are these little frames. Now, originally, I brought these for a friend. It was a job lot. It was off eBay. I know you're either going to love eBay or hate eBay. Oh, just like you're going to love or hate the fact that I keep yawning my head off, despite the fact that I've just told you that I have actually slept. Now, one of the reasons I brought these for them is because they collect a lot of war memorabilia. And one of the things that they do, despite the fact that they do collect a lot of war memorabilia, military memorabilia, is they try to discover the history of these items, these artifacts. And we've been quite lucky. We've actually been able to reunite some of the memorabilia that we've, I say we, I mean they have purchased with family members. And not just war memorabilia, also like sports memorabilia or things that commemorate certain parts of lost heritage, shall we say, of places within the United Kingdom. And I collect postcards, and one of the things I love about postcards is they're either going to be in mint condition or they're actually going to have the name and address of somebody on the back. And I know because of like data protection, it's one of those things. And I've still not got around to doing it yet, so I try to post online. But one of the things I endeavour to do, even my sister, she was suggesting I do it, is actually send a letter to that address and see whether or not they want them back, or whether a family member still lives there or, is related to that person. Because it is so amazing to see somebody's life and their handwriting and their thoughts. And sometimes it is stuff like, "Hi, I've had a nice time at the seaside, hope to see you in a week." And then other times, the information is so descriptive. I mean, I read one recently where a young little girl was learning to play the piano, and how it was Christmas Day, and for the first time they got to hear their daughter play something like "Oh Christmas Tree," which is called a Tannenbaum, which is a German song, around the piano. And it was like, oh my gosh, to kind of lose that information, for it to end up, just luckily not in a landfill, but to be lost. And I know it's all to do with like sentimental value, and you have to learn to let go. But so many people know so little about their lives. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing. It's a personal choice. But it is just amazing, I find personally, that to find out something about someone after they've either passed away, or potentially may even be still alive, or have family members that are still alive. So getting back to these boxes, they are in mint condition. I say they're in mint condition. This one isn't, because I opened it. So I looked at them online, and I thought, wow, these would be amazing. Especially if you're only going to put something small in them. Now, the first disadvantage of these items, I'm going to be completely honest with you, is these little hooks. They are rubbish. Now, the reason I know they're rubbish is because I've brought loads of picture frames in the past, and they break really easily, so you want to be really careful with them, and they fatigue very easily as well. The other disadvantage, obviously, of this item is the hook that they've put on the back. Now, you're going to have to try and carefully prise that over like this in order to put a screw in. But once you've done that, don't then try and push it backwards, because it will snap. Again, the metal that they use for all of these items, it has kind of a bit like what I call a one-time use. So if you gently take the back off, it's just cheap MDF, no surprise there. And then if you look inside here, it looks kind of quite deep, but it's not as deep as you think it is. Now, the best thing to do, I would say personally, is trial and error. Try with one, try and gauge the size and the depth and the diameter of whatever it is you want to put in here. They then have an option. You can either leave it as that kind of card backing, or you could put a coloured piece of card or felt or fabric in there. But please bear in mind, the moment you then start trying to pack this out, when you then want to, it's very difficult to do this when you're watching through your screen, to put this back in, you have got a little bit of give. If I just turn that onto an angle, you can see that even if it is kind of packed out a little bit, you've still got that much of a depth to sort of play with. And then even when you close these down, I'll just do the one for now. I would definitely recommend getting what is called parcel tape and sealing the back of this frame in order to prevent whatever you put in there to come out. The other thing you might want to do, if I just quickly turn it over again, is use a bit of adhesive to keep whatever item that you want to put inside the frame in place. Now, there are so many different adhesives online, and obviously one of the things you also want to remember is you do not want to damage the frame. You don't want to damage the item that you put in there. So if you are thinking of putting a back on there, One of the things you could do if you're using it for like a military button or a military badge is maybe stitch it on to the back, cut a little slit in the back and then push the button through. Anything to try and fix it in place. You could use sellotape, but after a while it should be airtight, so hopefully the adhesive won't perish too much. You could probably use something like double-sided sticky tape, a little bit of glue, or Gorilla Glue is quite good, or there are other types of glues, but again, if you are going to use anything that's solvent-based, please read the instructions. But what you don't want to do is use anything that's going to damage the item that you put inside. So I will, for my next video, I will get a selection of different things to kind of give you an idea to gauge the depth of this box. I don't have anything to hand at the moment, but like I said, I mean, the other good thing about these boxes, you know what, I'm going to have to close these down because it's just going to fall out otherwise, is that, you know, once you've got a few of them, just go over here to, you could then potentially have it as a triptych on the wall and stick 3 together. I wouldn't recommend actually sticking these together. Display them together by all means, because they are actually quite weighted. So if you were going to do that, again, you're looking at drilling holes into a wall. Another disadvantage, obviously, about these, again, if I just look at the back, I'll show you this code because that will give you an idea as to the size. So these are 7.5 by 7.5 centimetres. You can get different sizes, and they are called box frames. Some of them may even have a stand on the back. These ones don't. So again, you know, if you were wanting a photo frame like this and you didn't want to hang it on the wall, but you wanted the option to maybe display it on your desk at work or on your desk at home, or, you know, on a coffee table, have a look online and see what you can find. But I just wanted to share this because I haven't really done much arts and crafts for a while. And like I said, when I first brought these, I had the intention to use them literally within a couple of weeks. If I'm going to be brutally honest, they've probably been in my room for about 2 years. I think I brought them before COVID, so maybe even before. So I'm definitely going to make sure that these do get used before Yule or Christmas, if that's what you celebrate, or Hanukkah. And I'm potentially going to make these into presents for friends and family and loved ones with something inside them that they will hopefully appreciate and cherish, and I don't know, maybe pass on in the future. And if they decide not to, then again, hopefully they will have a resale value, or if they choose to send them to a charity shop or auction house or whatever, so be it. So thank you very much for your time. It's so much appreciated. Once again, if you have any questions or queries, please don't hesitate to contact me.